Yo, we got Erica Jackson, Baron Flannery of Pylon, and we got one of the best QB1s.
Erica, come on now, let's go. Let's ride. Let's give the people what they want to see.
Give the people what they want to see.
You
know what? Cam gets his flowers.
You dig what I'm saying? Like, let's go.
Give him his flowers.
Look, I said something on the complex sports. How long have y'all been doing Pylon?
17 years.
How long have y'all been seeing Cam involved with coming to you guys as Cam?
At least 6, 7.
Impossible. 6 and 7, that makes it 2016. Was I coming to it before 2016?
You know what? I ain't gonna get the line because I don't remember my years.
I'm trying to tell you.
We have a lot of kids, a lot of teams, a lot of athletes.
I'm gonna make.
But you are the icon,
no,
so you tell me your first year.
We
got one Cam.
But I'm gonna keep it a buck. I had said something on Complex, and they asked me, and I asked them a question. I said, "Who does more for the community, especially with youth sports, than me?" People don't like honesty. I've at least been coming to Pylon for over 10 years.
I was going to say 10.
Because even for that, when you guys ask, how much is registration?
$1,000.
$1,000 for registration. In a given season, we probably come to Pylon tournaments about 2 to 3, not even if we get invited to the Nationals, but all that. Those are things that it's investments, it's time, it's energy. Obviously, when you do the registration, you also got to pay for the hotels, you got to pay for the food. All these type of things goes into consideration. When I've been involved of it, that's just not to say that it's just me. We just try to put these kids in a safe atmosphere so that they can compete. What we've been able to see over the years is this game of 7-on-7 now create real opportunity for kids. Now kids are actually getting scholarships because of 7-on-7. Because some would say, especially with recent events, why is 7-on-7 even a thing? Well, if you have a receiver, a running back, a quarterback whose offensive philosophy in high school does not showcase his catching ability, maybe in a run first type of offense, this gives him an opportunity to showcase his talent. And I just been doing it long enough to still invest my time, still invest my my energy and capital to allow these kids to do something that they love to do.
You put your money where your mouth is. How'd you get into it? Why'd you get into it? Obviously, there's the benefits, but for someone like yourself, you're an icon, man. You're out here accessible to the people. That's very rare from a man of your stature. Right. And you come out here and you give back, but what is it that made you first get into the 7-on-7 circuit and what keeps you here?
I played 7-on-7. So when I was in high school, the NFL PA had a team, and not only just a club team, it was a club team. So everybody in our region from the Southeast was on that team. It was more predominantly in Atlanta. When in high school, we still had like high school centric 7-on-7 opportunities where it was just focused on like whatever high school you went to, your high school skill set plays another high school, blah, blah, blah. Now, how it has morphed into these club teams, as we call it, all-star teams. And I did it because I seen some insufficiencies in coaching. I'm like, yo, I don't really see myself coaching at the next level. This is fulfilling to me because not only am I able to teach the game, I'm able to spend quality time with them. I'm able to be with them at the hotels, at the Airbnbs, that, you know, we go to eat together. Like we got kids waiting now that's waiting to go grab something to eat. So whatever they eat, shit, I eat too. You know what I'm saying? We play mad and a lot of different things. So not only is it reciprocated energy from them to appreciate me, I appreciate them because I see myself in them. And when I was in their shoes, I didn't necessarily have a star or an icon or a football player where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? So it's important that these kids see you, they can touch you, they can ask questions. They're not expecting to say like, dang, you really big. And I'm like, yeah, bro, like, a side of me wants to show the humanistic side of it, but it comes so natural. I really want to be here. I ain't getting paid. Y'all ain't paying me to be here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I love the competition into it. I love the camaraderie. I love the unity that this platform of 7-on-7, obviously with Pylon, has been able to give these kids for years.
Well, I like to say this, Cam, because I've been seeing you around a long time. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of club teams that are owned by NFL greats such as yourself. But the one thing I do want to say is that you are a rare gem when it comes to that, because you can own a team, you can own an organization, you can put money into it, but I have seen in the circuit for so many years, actually do exactly what you said. You're accessible to your kids, you're accessible to other teams' kids. You are out there coaching along. You're not sitting on the sideline, and I can appreciate that by, seeing you throughout the years.
Right.
And it's so good to hear that you reinforce that with your staff and with your athletes. But I do have some hot questions for you.
Talk to me.
Okay. So I have some hot questions for you. All right. So, if you were a player in C1N right now, and you said, you know what, I don't want to play for C1N anymore, what team would you play for?
Oh, that's a great question. There's so many different elements to teams. I appreciate what South Florida Express does, but I'll give you a combination of teams that's doing it the right way, right? And I think as a lot of times the competition kind of gets inside of really what everybody's purpose is. You know what I'm saying? I like what South Florida Express do. I like what Midwest Boom does, Trillion Boys, the Fast Houston. You got Hustle Inc., who's local. Like anybody who's rendering their time to do it, and those are kind of like the biggest teams that do it. And I would say this, specifically, Level 82.
Okay.
I like what Torrey is doing. Yeah. And, even for him, I seen him when he was trash.
Shout out Torrey Smith.
Yeah, Torrey Smith. I seen him when his team was trash and he stayed and stick with it, him and his wife. Now his kids are getting of age. Now they're coming throughout the circuit too. But I would say Level 82 if I would have had to choose an other team to play with.
Okay, and I have one more hot question for you.
Talk to me.
Club sports, especially when it comes to football.
Right.
You have a lot of players and coaches that team hop. What is your thought process, or what is your thought on players leaving, like say leaving a Boom and coming to C1N, or one of your kids leaving C1N and going to a Hustle Inc. or Level 82? How do you feel about that?
I don't like it. So we have our kids sign a contract, and that contract states that in order for you to go play for somebody else, you have to have an excused absence. And in essence, C1N is the priority. I don't have an issue with somebody playing with another team if we're not doing anything. Because some of these kids, I remember a very vivid conversation I had with Travis Hunter. And I was like, bro, like we got practice this week. He was like, Coach, I'm going to play with South Florida Express. And my fear was like, he was the #1 player in the nation. I didn't want another coach to take advantage of him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because he was one of those guys that he garnered so much attention. And I was like, bro, I know what you're going through.
Game changer.
And I can protect you. Other players and other teams and other coaches, they could take advantage of like that. Keep him out there, keep him out there, keep him out there, and not know how to coach that, right? So for that, with our situation, we say, listen, C1N becomes a priority, and you have to check in with a coach or a staff member to let them know what you're going to do. And if we're not doing anything, that excused absence will garner you to go play for somebody else. Now, if we got a tournament and you're going to still play with somebody else, then no, we don't. We move away from those
Depending
players.
on who the player is, you don't matter what it is.
No,
you
listen.
cut 'em. If it's Travis Hunter.
No, listen. Trust me. We've had, and to respect the player, I'm not going to say no names. We had talented players go on other teams, and he was not welcome back. And he had an opportunity to come back. Obviously, he was a young player. And I told him, I was like, bro, that's a life lesson. Because there's nobody that can give you what I can give you, respectfully. And whether it's insight. Because this is the thing that I don't know if another organization does. We help agent selections. We help talk through NIL. We help while they're in college. We help while they're in the NFL. This is a program. This is just not 707. 707 gets the shine, but we assist tutoring. We promote all our players to be in position to graduate early. That's an advantage. We talked about parents. They're also involved where we teach clearinghouse situations and what does it look like? Should I transfer? Should I go into the transfer portal? What does the NIL look like? We put them in position to do that, and we don't want nothing from it. I don't want the credit for a lot of the things that I do. There's many different things that I've done in the past and will continuously do. And I know where my heart is. So therefore, if I see somebody not appreciate that and say, you know what, I want to go somewhere else, cool, you can go somewhere else. That contract is not a binding thing where you just have to play with us and only us. It's just to let you know that if you make that decision, it's not going to be welcome in our arms when you come back. And that's what we have to put the organization of C1N in the best situation to say, because we got a lot of players that wants to play on our team. So it's football. A lot of guys who have stars don't deserve the stars. And a lot of guys who don't have stars deserve stars. So we just want to give opportunities like that.
So that brings me to a point. The reason that I really wanted to speak to you on this topic is because you do have such a large platform and you do have such a powerful voice. 7-on-7, for all of the things that you were just talking about, are all of the reasons in which we do what we do. Right. And I feel like oftentimes there's narratives that don't necessarily encapsulate the entirety of the situation, whether it's 7-on-7 and what 7-on-7 does. It gives kids an opportunity to go out and compete instead of standing at the crib. It gives kids an opportunity to play football, be evaluated for football, and not losing opportunities because of 40 times. It also gives guys like yourself and the other guys you've mentioned opportunities to be involved in a mentorship aspect to these kids' lives. And I feel like it's a disservice to only talk about the negative that people see in anything without shining a light on the things that are positive. Are there things that 7-on-7 can get better at as a whole? Not just C1N, but as a whole, absolutely. But there are more positives that outweigh those negatives. So I guess it's a two-part question. What are some of the negatives? Let's address that in 7-on-7, whoever's running it, that you see, and then how do you balance that with all of the positives so that people can see that, we don't want to be biased in any particular direction. We just want to tell the truth, because there's 1,000 kids out here right now that ain't on the streets. They ain't just at the crib playing Fortnite. They out here getting better. They're Scout.com, Rivals, On3, OT set. Everybody is here evaluating and looking at these kids right now, and that is often not discussed.
Right. The negative, to answer your question, people's intentions. Like, you need students in this space to understand. Like the tournament that we just played in, it was just certain things that I was just trying to advise them. And this is the thing that people don't understand. It's like, bro, I done heard y'all cheating for Cam. I done heard y'all showing them favoritism. I done heard like, we get everybody's best.
Every time.
Every time. Like, and that's what other teams don't get. Like South Florida Express, Trillion Boys.
No, they get that. If you play South Florida Express, you better bring your best, for they blow your ass out.
No.
But I feel what you're saying.
What I say,
but
what
they
I'm
do give
is,
you. They people play you guys like it is their last game on earth.
Correct.
For sure.
And I can't say that about a lot of things. And a lot of that is because of me. Now, when people on the sideline are paying attention and you get those crowded games, every one of our games are crowded because they hear the, hey, yo, it's almost like a battle cry to the whole tournament that Cam Newton is about. It's very strategic. I understand. I want that. I thought
when I was walking in, I heard the hey, yo, I thought that was for me.
Nah. It's literally,
I ain't even going live.
It's literally because a lot of our kids are going Power 5. And don't tell me that you're a great player when it's only convenient for you to be a great player. A great player is great every single time. And you're gonna get everybody's best. So you don't have times to be like, oh, we playing this team? All right, cool, boom. I can be a little lack. No, you're gonna hear, brrr, you're gonna hear, oh, head top. You're gonna hear those things when you're playing us. And I want that pressure because if the coaches, so when I to answer your question about intent, those coaches are coaching guys that they can't relate to. Not saying that it's all bad for everybody, but if your intentions aren't to see this kid sharpen his skill set to not only play in front of the thousands that's out here, but it's also when you go to Clemson, when you go to Alabama, Auburn, Texas, USC, you're playing in front of 100,000 people in attendance, live attendance. I don't think a lot of coaches really go into that and say like, hey, bro, hold on. While everybody looking, I don't give a damn about them. What you did was wrong. Your technique is wrong. So damn that he dropped the ball, he saved your ass. Like that's how you gotta get personal with these kids. And that's what I try to do. So from the program standpoint, these coaches' intentions aren't pure to really walk these kids through the whole thing. Like, what do you need? What do you want? Right? Now, from the platform, like the Pylons, the battles, the OT7s, C1N owned and operated tournaments, and all the other ones, it's just the intent to really make these kids have a comfortable environment. Is there hydration? Is there EMS? Are the rules sufficient, not just for the offense, but for the defense? Is it fun? Is it entertaining? Is it, these things that go into thinking for how are the kids using this and are they having fun? That. So the second question, the heat.
So let me jump in on that on the good side, because let's talk about intent for a second.
Mm-hmm.
The 7-on-7 circuit was started by me.
I won't say that.
I'm gonna make my point, and then you can make your point. When I was in high school, I was heavily recruited, all state in Pennsylvania. I went to University of Pittsburgh. I ran a bad 40. I lost my scholarship. Mike Dawson was a GA at the time. He goes from University of Pittsburgh, New Hampshire. Never got a letter, never heard from him. He just called me and said, hey man, I know you ain't got nothing going on. You was gonna come here. We not offering you no more. Come up to New Hampshire. I go. I end up All-American. Opportunity to work out for some NFL teams, didn't work out. But I knew I could play football at a high level because before I ran that 40, had a bunch of offers. And then I go to college. I end up as an All-American going into my school Hall of Fame this summer. When I came out, I wanted to make sure that kids did not lose an opportunity for scholarship by running a 40-yard dash.
Right.
There were no teams. I got a job with Scout.com. Bob Lichtenfeld gave me the database. I called my business partner at the time. We called all the kids, put them on state teams, California verse, Washington verse, Georgia verse, and it was state teams. First team was South Florida Express Brett Getz, because I called Geno Smith, Stedman Bailey. I think Ryan Shazier might have been on that team, or maybe he's a little bit later. But I called them. Those kids played with their Optimist Club. So Brett calls me, says, hey man, instead of y'all putting together a team of my kids, let me just bring my kids. So it was like Florida 1, Florida Blue, Florida Red, Florida 2, South Florida Express. We were at the University of Akron. We were at UNLV. We were at University of South Florida. NCAA has tried their hardest at the time to derail it, and now you can't do events on colleges and all of those things. I say all of that to say, one, I'm gonna need my flowers. No, I'm joking. But I am saying that the intent for this was not necessarily for the fun. It was not for the extra. The intent from Pylon's perspective, from my perspective, was always to give kids an opportunity, one, for exposure, and then two, an opportunity to continue to compete even though you have all your offers and your stars and your All-American game invite without having to run a 40. From there, it has spawned into what you see today. NFL running their 7-on-7s, Nike doing theirs.
They do
flag, but prior to, when you were saying the NFLPA, even prior to.
No, this is.
But hold on, let me finish my point because I won't get long-winded.
You are.
The intent on it is for, in our perspective, my perspective was that. So when you have everybody coming in with a different intent, my question now becomes to you, what should the intent be? Because I don't like all the extra jumping and and you know, it might be fun, but to me that's not what it's about.
Okay, so I think we get caught into who did it first, right? Because what I mean by, and I can't agree with who did it first, and I'm not going to say that because when I was in high school, right, 707 was around.
For sure.
Morgan Burnett was on my team. Eric Berry was on my team. This was a labeled club team. This was in 2006. You see what I'm saying? So the math ain't mathing. When you say we started this in blah, 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 I'm like, bro, it's been around.
7-on-7.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I'm saying I don't give a damn who did it first, I'm just saying for me growing up, well, I say when I was in high school, it wasn't as big as it is now. Nobody really cared about, you know, this and that. They didn't even know who we were. They was just like, oh, he's the guy that's committed to the University of Florida. Oh, let me go check him out. Oh, Eric Berry, he's the #1 athlete in the nation. I want to look at him. All right, boom. That's how it was. And this is when I was actually playing in high school. So now to see year after year, and I'm like, yo, like I see kids, coaches call me, they DM me, Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram. Yo, how is this kid? Coach, if he's on my team, he has to be the truth. It ain't no question. He is the truth. So when you see these things and these questions are asked and you see kids who normally won't have exposure, you give them that exposure. Now, when you say the bad things in regards to the celebratory acts and this, I don't have an issue with the celebrations if it's not disrespectful. I believe in respect. If you're celebrating with your team, celebrate with your team. Don't put your hand on a guy's head and throw the ball at somebody or kick the ball. Like if you're celebrating as a team, bro, you can't negate that. Because when you look at the NFL, when you look at NBA, when you look at soccer, when you look at hockey, when they score, everybody is with them. Now the flag is flagged when there's contact touch, intentional contact touch, and you can't remove that from the game. So even then, I say, I don't necessarily care who is doing what they're doing. Just make it about the kids, and
respectful,
and keep it respectful. So even then, I always tease and say, like, bro, I got my doctorate degree in talking shit. I know how to talk. I can talk with the best of them. I can talk crap to a preacher. I can talk crap to a 5-year-old. I can talk crap to a woman. I can talk crap to a grown man. But when it comes to a child, if you're talking to me as if you are grown and I'm the adult, you don't get that right to say, oh, you're talking to a kid. But that kid is talking to me like he's a grown man. Mama, daddy, coach. I never disrespect people. And I don't promote our kids to disrespect other players or other coaches. I tell them, hey, you're wrong. I have kids, personal biological kids, and I don't have them even talk to an adult. You come get an adult to come talk to an adult. But these kids that's out here, they will say anything to get it riled up. I understand that. That's what sports does. It triggers emotion. And I'm not going to say, don't do it. All I'm going to tell the coach is like, I'm no longer talking to the player. I'm talking to the coach. Now the coach gets riled up. Now I've been in so many of those situations that I was like, coach, I never disrespected you, number one. I never called you out your name, that's 2. Now, when guys score touchdowns, cool. I want the emotions of everybody getting excited. Yeah, those are real football emotions. This game of 7-on-7 enhances the IQ for football players, not only from the offensive side, but also the defensive side. It allows guys to understand coverage concepts, work on their technique, work on their skill set, and to enhance it for their respective places, whether it's high school, whether it's college, whatever it is. So those things is something that I just look back and I sit back and I keep admiring where this game is going. I love what Pylon is doing. I love what OT7 is doing. I love what Battle is doing. Obviously, with our owned and operated things, it's just like, keep doing it, because when my kids get old, they will be able to say like, yo, like, I gotta play. You know what I'm saying? And now football now is becoming a 12-month sport, not just a seasonal sport. Basketball has always had AAU basketball. Basketball has always had their season in basketball. And now what 707 does for football is just makes it more year round.
I got one more question, and then I don't know what Erica got. Game changer versus game manager.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when you said that, I fully understood what you were saying.
Yes, sir.
There are some people that change the way things are done.
Mm-hmm.
Not whether it's the game, off the field, on the field,
right.
All of it. You're changing the defensive schemes that come around. You're changing the game. So, who are some game changers that you've had the opportunity to work with or see that we should be able to look at in 4 or 5 years and be like?
You talking about now or just in the past?
Both.
Simple. You got Justin Fields, you got Deshaun Watson, George Pickens, Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter, game changer.
No.
All of them game changers?
No, for sure.
Okay.
And you're talking about, but now this is the next question.
Because I thought I understood what you were saying. I felt like you're a game changer. I felt like Mike Vick's a game changer. You have to change what you do as a team. The quarterbacks now model you guys.
But hear me out. This level of what we're talking about is subjected to high school sports. I've been around high school sports, amateur sports for a long time to know, that got different. He's going to be that guy. We got a guy who we have 2 more years with, who I've seen at 14 years old, Chris Henry, already committed to Ohio State. Got Winston Watkins. He's already, he has garnered a lot of attention. You got Luke Nichols. He's already committed to the University of Miami. You got all these other guys, not to even mention Shamar, who's on defense. You got Jay Bell. You got so many guys now that it's like, I don't know what the next level that they're going to be. I know that they're making an impact on our team now, which is changing how we coach. I've seen my coaching style change because of guys like Peyton Zachary, shifty receivers that when I first started coaching this, now 14 years now, I started to say I wanted all big receivers because it's the mismatch. Now these shifty guys inside are headaches for defenders, right? So it's hard to just be able to say it because I'm looking at it from, are they game changers in high school or are they game changers at the next level? Because we had a guy, Honeycomb, right? Honeycomb's at Ole Miss now. Only time will tell if he's going to be a game changer to impact number 1 Ole Miss and then have an opportunity to go to the next level. I think it's so tough and the pressure is so strenuous for these kids that it is a long marathon. And they don't know, like a kid will look at me and say, Cam, you trash. But I look at that kid and I say, who's your favorite NFL player? Right? Some would say Patrick Mahomes. Some say with Tom Brady. Some would say Russell Wilson. I'm like, okay, cool. The thing that I am able to say more than ever is I've been good at football. In high school, I was 5-star. I wasn't no 2 or 3-star guy. People knew who I was. When I went to college, I was the number one player. When I even went to JUCO, I had to go that was before the transfer portal. So a lot of these players that are good in the NFL, they wasn't really ideally a game changer in college. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at that for what it's worth. So for me, I can relate to them even more. So I see where this game is turning and going. And I'm looking at it like, I just want to be an outlet for these kids to be able to say, Coach, I'm hurting. Coach, I need your help. Man, I'm talking to my dad. I'm talking to my mom. They don't get it though, but I get it. Man, I'm bored at high school, Coach. Man, it's hard for me to say, man, I get it, bro. And these things, this game needs more, not just father figures, but super moms that see what these kids need and they are able to speak their language, not bilingual language, just knowing what a teenager is going through. And some of them won't ask for help or they're asking for help in a different way. So that's what C1N does. We see these kids and we say like, yo, bro, like you straight, you good? Yeah, Coach, I'm good. No, bro, you can't fool me. Okay, cool. I'm gonna call your mama. I'm gonna call your brother. I'm gonna call your uncle. I'm gonna call your sister. I'm gonna call your, you know what I'm saying, your auntie. Those are the relationships that we build. And that's why I can't stop. That's why this is like what people see the AAO, that's surface level stuff. Talk to me about what I do on Wednesdays. Talk to me about the curriculum that I'm trying to create for these kids to be able to have almost a C1N Bible, what to do, because we're building men, right? How are these kids knowing to stay out of trouble? They're out here spending quality time. Hey, bro, I know you ain't throw that on the ground, bro. Pick up the ketchup packets. Bro, you walking over this trash, bro. Pick up the trash, bro. That's how you can change the world, by changing your environment that you're in.
I want to say shout out to the people who heard the comment about game changer and game manager and took it way out of proportion and then threw it back at my man Cam like he was saying something negative. Call him what you want, but I'm going to call you a life changer.
Yes.
You a life changer, man. You've changed the game from the NFL to 7-on-7, and now you are doing your thing and changing lives. And we really, really appreciate you coming to our platform, sitting down with us, giving us an opportunity to chop this up, because I think that you having such a powerful voice and being an advocate for helping kids and using the game of 7-on-7 as the platform and the catalyst to get these kids to where they need to be, both mentally, physically, spiritually, on the field, off the field. You are super important to the culture of 7-on-7, black culture, football culture, and man, keep doing your thing.
Yes.
Thank you. Now we got to do it now.
For sure.
Can y'all follow in love?
Yeah, for
can
sure.
y'all follow suit? One hand out.
Because you know what? I ain't get a chance to do this on Radio Row.
One hand out.
One hand out.
Here we go. When I say all together, we're going to say one love. All right? One finger. One pinky. One thumb. All together. One love. There you go.
Thanks,
appreciate
man.
you.
We appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am.